got the protesters there being stopped at that particular point in Birsarai Road. They're not being allowed to jump across the barricades, and if they do, they're being immediately detained by the police officials. As you see there on your screens, a handful of protesters who are refusing to budge are being literally carried out by police personnel there and are being told that they will not be allowed to proceed any further. Some of them alleging that they've been beaten by the cops. The police, however, are maintaining that they have denied permission for this particular protest, and hence what needs to be done will be done to disperse these protests. Abhishek Anand is joining us with more details. Abhishek, what's the situation right now on at the Birsarai Road?
बावजूद भी ये हमारा राइट बनता है, ये हमारा डेमोक्रेटिक राइट है जो हमें भारत के देश ने दिया है कि हम प्रोटेस्ट कर सके। पर पुलिस का भी एक ही कहना है कि मैम सेक्शन 144 मैम तो ये है ये बच्चे स्टूडेंट के साथ जो लगातार डिटेन होते जा रहे हैं। ये पुलिस की आखिरी लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस है। सही मैं आपको दिखा दूं, एक प्रोटेस्ट वहां हो रहा है जहां से जिन बच्चों को पकड़ के लाया जा रहा है उनको यहां से आगे भेज दिया जा रहा है ताकि वो और प्रोटेस्ट का पार्ट ना हो पाए। ये आखिरी लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस है दिल्ली पुलिस की, जिसके आगे पुलिस नहीं जाने देगी क्योंकि धारा 144 लगी हुई है। दिल्ली पुलिस की ये स्ट्रैटेजी थी कि वो ये पूरा लेन इनको दे देंगे कि ताकि जेएनयू के स्टूडेंट फ्रीली अपना प्रोटेस्ट मार्च कर पाए। पर क्योंकि आज विंटर सेशन ऑफ पार्लियामेंट का भी पहला दिन है, सभी जो बड़े लीडर्स हैं, मिनिस्टर्स हैं, सभी पॉलिटिशियन भी आज दिल्ली में मौजूद हैं, तो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन देखते हुए भी ये धारा लगाई गई। और ये देखिए एक और स्टूडेंट वाइस चांसलर मैडम आप मैम 100 धारा 100 हम सईद मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगी, हम कम से कम 500 मीटर दूर हैं जेएनयू के मेन कैंपस से, जो कि जेएनयू का मेन गेट है जहां से ये प्रोटेस्ट चालू हुआ था। बट ये जो मैं आपको दिखा रही हूँ, मैं अपने कैमरा पर्सन को बोलूंगी एक बार उस तरफ मुख करके आपको दिखाए कि ये जो लाइन है और डिफेंस की लाइन आप देखिए सईद, इससे फीमेल ऑफिसर्स हैं जो आज फ्रंट लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस है दिल्ली पुलिस के लिए। ये देखिए सईद, बैरिकेडिंग टूट चुकी है। सईद बच्चे अभी भाग के आ रहे हैं इस तरफ, और हम आपको दिखाना चाहेंगे कि दिल्ली पुलिस नाकाम हुई है। अभी इन बच्चों को निकलने दे दिया गया है। देखते हैं कि अब ये जो सेकेंड लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस है इससे आगे बच्चों को निकलने दिया जाएगा या नहीं। इधर से चढ़ो। हाँ चढ़ो यहाँ से
The protesters trying to really cross over the barricades and make their way, continue their protest. The police are immediately cracking down on them. They've already detained a handful of these students, citing the prohibitory orders that are in place, keeping in mind that the winter session is underway. We'll have to wait and watch to see if the students now will call off the protest before they become increasingly violent. But at this point, they are staging a sit-in at the point where the barricades are refusing to stop their agitation. Some of them who've tried to cross the barricades and who successfully jumped over almost 3 lines of barricades have immediately been taken into custody.
उसके अकॉर्डिंग फर्स्ट लाइन, फ्रंट लाइन जो बोलते हैं कंट्रोल की, डिफेंस की, आज वो महिलाएं हैं। महिलाएं पुलिस पूरा मोर्चा संभाली हुई है। बट पहला एक हॉल्ट ये लोग तोड़ने में कामयाब हो गए हैं। देखिए आप, स्टूडेंट तोड़ के दूसरे बैरिकेडिंग तक आ चुके हैं और यहाँ अब सारी तरीके की सिक्योरिटी फोर्स, पैरामिलिट्री फोर्स और दिल्ली पुलिस पूरे तरीके से मौजूद है। और यहाँ से आगे जो हमें बताया जा रहा है, हमारे सोर्सेस से हम पता कर रहे हैं कि इस पॉइंट से आगे किसी को नहीं बढ़ने दिया जाएगा। ये देखिए, आप देखिए क्या हालात है जहाँ मीडिया कर्मियों को, क्योंकि मीडिया के भी कुछ कर्मी जख्मी हुए थे, स्टूडेंट्स ने उन्हें भी नहीं बख्शा था, तो किस तरीके से मीडिया को भी अपना काम करने के लिए बैरिकेडिंग को क्रॉस करके जाना पड़ रहा है कि कहीं वो इस गर्मी में वो इसका हिस्सा ना बने। और वहाँ है स्टूडेंट, ये है पुलिस की लाइन। आपको मैं बोलूँगी कैमरा पर्सन को कि आपको दिखाएं कि कितने, जहाँ तक हमारी नजर जा सकती है सिर्फ स्टूडेंट्स ही स्टूडेंट्स हैं सईद। और इन स्टूडेंट का सिर्फ एक ही 2 मांग है कि अभी के अभी JNU एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आए, वाइस चांसलर आए, वो उनको लिख के दें, लिखित में दें कि जो फीस हाइक हुई है, जो 20 से 600 रुपये हुई है और जो 10 से 300 रुपये हुई है, उसको वापस लिया जाए। और दूसरा, आज ये सभी अपने पार्लियामेंटेरियन, जो आज पार्लियामेंट हो रहा है, आज पहला दिन है विंटर सेशन का, आज वो सभी उन MLA से, MP से, मिनिस्टर से, सभी से आज मिलना चाह रहे हैं। जब हमने पूछा कि ये अपॉइंटमेंट क्यों नहीं ले सकते थे, जिस तरीके से लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन भी मेंटेन रहे, तो बच्चों का ये कहना है, जो JNU के छात्र हैं, इनका ये कहना है कि हम पिछले 1.5 महीने से अपना प्रोटेस्ट रोज कर रहे हैं, आज तक किसी ने हमारी चू नहीं सुनी, पर आज जब हम सड़कों पे उतरे हैं, आज जब हम सड़कों पे उतरे हैं, तो सब आज हमें धक्के और मार के हमें लेके जाया जा रहा है। प्रोटेस्ट करना हमारा डेमोक्रेटिक राइट है, ये यहाँ के स्टूडेंट्स का कह रहे हैं। और मैं दिखाऊंगी, कैमरा पर्सन को बोलूंगी कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ आपको दिखाएं कि यहाँ के जो बच्चे मौजूद हैं इस वक्त, उनमें इतना है, अभी पुलिस और बच्चे के जो छात्र हैं JNU के, उनमें इतनी गर्मा गर्मी चल रही है। पर हम आपको ये बता दें सही, ये जो हम बैरिकेड के सामने खड़े हैं, ये जो पूरी बैरिकेडिंग यहाँ पे की गई है, ये आखिरी लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस है, जिसके आगे किसी भी कीमत पे इन बच्चों को नहीं जाने दिया जाएगा। पर अब देखना ये जरूरी होगा कि दिल्ली पुलिस क्या कामयाब होगी इनको रोकने में, क्योंकि वहां दिल्ली पुलिस नाकामयाब रही। वो देखिए सही किस तरीके का क्लैश, किस तरीके से भिड़ंत है दिल्ली पुलिस में, और दिल्ली पुलिस और छात्रों में किस तरीके की भिड़ंत है। देखिए आप, ये देखिए सईद, ये मुझे लगता है हमें इस बारे में कुछ बोलने की भी जरूरत है। विजुअल्स, जो तस्वीरें हैं, देखिए, ये देखिए, ये देखिए, ये देखिए, ये देखिए, तो आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे कि जो बच्चे हैं, छात्र हैं, पूरे तरीके से हो गया है। ये देखिए, ये देखिए, ये देखिए, ये देखिए मैम, 144 है क्या? ये देखिए सही, देखिए आप किस तरीके से यहाँ पे बच्चों को पकड़ के, छात्रों को यहाँ धकेल के निकाला जा रहा है। देखिए लगातार यहाँ पुलिस कम से कम 3 से 4 हजार बच्चों के साथ भिड़ चुकी है। और देखिए अभी इनको धकेला जा रहा है। सिर्फ अभी एक ही एजेंडा है पुलिस का कि इस पॉइंट से आगे प्रोटेस्ट को ना बढ़ने दिया जाए। सईद, ये देखिए, क्या हुआ मैम?
We'll go across to Tanushree and Puneet in just a bit.
एरिया कम से कम वो जो लोकेशन है, वो कम से कम 500 मीटर है JNU का।
Okay, we'll reconnect with Tanushree in just a bit. They're getting us a sense of what the situation is right now. So far, it does seem like the police have been successful in stopping the protests at Besarai Road, which is about 1.5 kilometers from the JNU campus itself. Till then, the students were allowed to march. At this point, they've been completely stopped with multiple barricades and a huge deployment of police personnel. The few students who have tried to push through, continue their protest and march to Parliament have immediately been detained. The police are ensuring that not even one of these protesters is allowed to move any further. So even as we're witnessing complete chaos really playing out there at that particular spot in Besarai Road, you've got the police ensuring that the protest doesn't go out of hand and that there is no question of allowing these protests to continue till Parliament, considering that the winter session is underway. Understandably, Section 144 has been imposed in this particular area. The protesters on their part are continuing to chant slogans. Several of them, even at this point, are trying to push through the barricades. What you see is that the police personnel have now climbed on top of these barricades. CRPF personnel are also there trying to stop these protesters, and they're ensuring that anyone who tries to push through the barricades is immediately pushed back. A few of them being taken into custody. You also see a huge deployment of women police officials to ensure that these protests are immediately controlled and are not allowed to proceed any further. But it's clear at this point that while the showdown continues to escalate, the students also are refusing to budge. Cutting across to more live inputs.
और तीसरे बैरिकेड्स के आगे निकल चुके हैं। यहाँ धक्का मुक्की चल रही है JNU के स्टूडेंट्स और पुलिस और पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस के जवानों के बीच महिला पुलिस भी हैं यहाँ पर और महिला प्रोटेस्टर्स भी हैं। देख रहे हैं आप किस तरह से सिचुएशन जो है वो एस्केलेट हो रही है, किस तरह से अग्रेसिवली आक्रामक तरीके से जो स्टूडेंट्स आगे बढ़ रहे हैं उनको रोकने के लिए पुलिस को कितनी मशक्कत करनी पड़ रही है। लगातार नारेबाजी करते हुए ढोल नगाड़ा और तमाम प्लेकार्ड्स, तमाम पोस्टर, बैनर लेकर के लोग आगे बढ़ रहे हैं और लगातार धक्का मुक्की चल रही है। ये फाइनल बैरिकेड है। इसके बाद पुलिस के पास वाटर कैनन छोड़ने के अलावा या फिर बल प्रयोग करने के अलावा कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है। तादाद में यहाँ पर पुलिस के लोग हैं, आप देख सकते हैं। पैरामिलिट्री फोर्स है, साथ में दिल्ली पुलिस के जवान हैं। एक बार फिर से मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा कि कैसे लगातार स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि इसको तोड़ा जाए और पुलिस रोकने में अभी तक नाकाम रही है। एक एक करके कुछ स्टूडेंट्स लीडर्स को डिटेन किया जा रहा है और उसको देखते हुए यहाँ पर तुरंत भीड़ में जो है उत्साह बढ़ जा रहा है और वो आगे बढ़ रही है। एक स्टूडेंट लीडर को डिटेन कर लिया गया है और उसको वहाँ से निकालने के लिए, पुलिस के हाथ से निकालने के लिए स्टूडेंट्स आगे बढ़ने की कोशिश लगातार कर रहे हैं। ये सिचुएशन है। पहला बैरिकेड बुरी तरीके से तोड़ दिया यहाँ पर स्टूडेंट्स ने और अब आखिरी बैरिकेड पर पहुँच गए हैं। ये आखिरी डिफेंस लाइन है पुलिस की। इसके बाद स्टूडेंट्स को कोई नहीं रोक सकता पार्लियामेंट की तरफ मार्च करने से। कैमरा पर्सन सदानंद के साथ अभिषेक आनंद, दिल्ली, आज तक।
By my colleague, but at this point the protesters have been stopped successfully by the police. Any of them who are trying to in fact continue the agitation is immediately being taken into custody. Let's also remind you that this protest started about an hour ago from the JNU campus. You've got hundreds of them lined up on the streets there. What they call a peaceful protest march has quickly in fact escalated into chaos as they've been stopped from marching to the parliament. The police have made several appeals for calm, for peace, and have also in fact requested these protesters to immediately disperse. Even this morning, the cops had made it very clear that there's no question of giving them permission to stage this particular agitation, considering that Parliament is in session, the winter session is currently underway, and that these protesters will not be allowed anywhere near Parliament. And that's why Section 144 was imposed around Parliament. Cutting across to more ground reports.
We are in the middle of the protest of the JNU students against fee hike, and you can see the students are scuffling with the police personnel. They have successfully broken 2 barricades without any much problem, and you can see storm of students is here at the last barricade of Delhi police. The paramilitary personnel are also deployed here. The female police is also deployed here. One after another, the police is trying to detain the student union leaders and triggering disquiet in the crowd. The crowd is getting aggressive and pushing the police personnel towards the last barricade. This is the last barricade. After this, the police will have to resort to either the water cannon or they have to use lathis to prevent these students to march. The students march towards the parliament. Huge number of police personnel are deployed, but they have failed so far to stop this march of the JNU students against the fee hike. The students are marching towards the parliament to meet the parliamentarians and demand an immediate rollback, the complete rollback of fee hike. A partial rollback was not welcomed by the students. As you can see, the crowd is now trying to push the police personnel out of their way. They are trying to break the barricade and cross the police bandobast to march towards the parliament. The police is facing a really hard time in controlling the march. With camera person Sadanand, this is Abhishek Anand for India Today from JNU.
Okay, so at this point, you've got several of the students continuing to stand there, refusing to budge. But there will be questions also asked about these protesters as to why they continued with this protest, despite the police making it very clear that they will not be given permission to march up to Parliament, citing simple security reasons because of the fact that Parliament is in session. We've also witnessed quite a bit of chaos with these students refusing to heed to warnings from the police, trying to push through the barricades, trying to march from Birsarai Road also further up till Parliament. Hundreds of them who've gathered, all of them with regards to one issue, the hostel fee hike. and ensuring that there's a rollback of this particular hike. And on your screens right now are students not just from JNU, but these are students from different other central universities who've also come together to pledge their support with the cause that's been pushed forward by the JNU students. This particular agitation has been going on for the last many days, and no amount of intervention has really helped to stop the stalemate or end this impasse. The students, despite direct intervention from the centre, despite appeals from the Vice-Chancellor, have refused to stop their protest. They're making it very clear that they want an assurance and immediate action where the fee hike is rolled back. In the last few days, we did see a revision of the proposed fee hike itself, but that also hasn't cut any ice with these students who are continuing their protest and stating that they will continue their agitation till there is a complete rollback by the administration. The centre so far has also intervened. You've got the HRD ministry now intervening, setting up a committee to ensure that things normalize in the JNU campus, because what we've witnessed is not just a breakdown of law and order in the campus, but now it's spilling out onto the streets of the national capital. And on a day when you've got Parliament in session, when there is obviously a high security situation around the Parliament premises, these students have been clearly told that they're not going to be allowed anywhere near Parliament, and hence the massive deployment of security as well, with over 1,200 police personnel, CRPF officials, all of them out there barricading the entire place. Even one student who's managed to cross that barricade has immediately been detained, some of them being literally carried off from where they're staging their protest. Several of the students that you see on your screens also have now resorted to staging a sit-in protest. That's how adamant they are at this point of not stopping their agitation. What really is it going to take to stop this protest is, of course, the question, because even with the centre's intervention, they've said that they're not going to stop their agitation. Even with the VC appealing for calm, there's been absolutely no change in the situation. The police too, right there at that spot where the students have gathered, have been trying to reach out to them, requesting them to disperse. After a point, if the students do not disperse, the police will resort to using water cannons to ensure that they immediately turn around and head back to the campus. You're literally seeing at this point on the streets of Delhi hundreds of students who've converged. You can only imagine how, of course, the traffic has been affected, how normal life has been affected by Delhiites by this particular protest. Very close to, in fact, the JNU campus, about 1.5 kilometers, is where several of these students have been stopped. They've not been allowed to march any further. So it's only about 1 kilometer that this march was allowed to continue in a peaceful manner. Abhishek Anand is back with us. Abhishek, what's the situation on the ground right now? Have any of the continuous appeals by the Delhi police really cut any ice with the students? Do you see any of them turning back and dispersing?
Successfully broken two of the barricades, and now you can see a scuffle has been broke out between the protesters and the police personnel. A number of police personnel have been brought in to arrest the student leaders, which the protesters are not allowing the arrest of the student leaders, and this fracas is going on again and again, and the police, this is the last barricade, which is the last stronghold for the police on this particular road. If the protesters successfully break this barricade also, then they can easily run away from here to any place to reach the Parliament. They can board any mode of transportation from the next bus stop or metro stop. So this is very important for the police here to stop the protest. Stop the protesters at this point. Heated talks are in fact going on between the protesters and the senior police officials again and again, without any fruit, without any conclusion, and the inconclusive talks are resulted in such a scuffle between the protesters and the police forces. The CRPF personnel in camouflage uniform also have been have joined hands with Delhi police, and the senior officials are now wearing helmets and bulletproof jackets, are trying to have a conversation with the student leaders to end the march here, and they are repeatedly telling the protesters that their voice have been heard. All of the media houses have covered their protest. Now they shall go back, but till now, the protesters are not ready to budge. They are not ready to go back. After this point, if they break this barricade, there are very few options left with Delhi police. As you can see on your TV screen, also an elderly police personnel is having a scuffle with a group of protesters. So you can see how the protesters are yelling at this elderly policeman, and the officers there are trying to pacify the situation. This is going on since last more than 1 hour. The police is unsuccessfully trying to pacify the protesters, and this is the last barricade. After this, the police will have to eventually use force to disperse. As you can see on your TV screen, a mild force is being used. The protesters are being pushed. The police is at least trying to push the protesters away, but the crowd is huge.
Okay.
The number of protesters is in hundreds, so they are pushing them back.
So
Over to you, Akshita.
You see an argument that's happening right now. The police trying to push back these protesters. The students trying to march forward, come what may.